Hey everyone, my name's Amanda and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and today I wanted to talk to you about The Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer. Maehrer, I know I'm butchering that last name, but I think it's Maehrer. I know this can be a very taboo statement because there are a lot of booktube and bookstagram people who, as soon as you say this phrase, it immediately turns them off to this book. And I hope that doesn't happen for this one specifically. Hear me out on my review. But this book is a TikTok book. What I mean by it's a TikTok book is Hannah, she actually created a TikTok where she started pretending and doing skits about her being the assistant to this villain and this kind of grumpy sunshine relationship. And all of her subscribers or followers said, hey, you should write a book. And she did. And it got picked up by Red Tower Publishing, and I'm holding it in my hands. It's actually a really inspiring story for me. I have been kind of following along with her progress. And so I knew as soon as her book came out that I wanted to read it and support her because I want to do what she did. So I was really excited for her to actually have the book out, and it's going to be a series, and I'm excited for it. So this book is about a girl named Evie, and she is a sunshine personal assistant to a grumpy villain, and we just call him the villain. The book is described as a cross between Once Upon a Time and The Office. And to be honest with you, that's kind of how it reads. It's a very quirky story about Evie, the assistant to the villain, who has to help him do his villainous tasks, even though she is super sunshiny because she needs the employment. And he, even though he is the villain, can't seem to get enough of her sunshine personality. So there's a whole story about things that are going on in the kingdom and people who are trying to kill the villain. And she has to try to thwart these plots and figure out what's going on. And it's lots of hijinks and funny situations and quirkiness. And it's cute. You guys, it's really, really cute. My husband is sitting right there and he just said Ryan started the fire. And if you know The Office, you should know what that means. There is fires that start in this book actually though. So star rating. I gave this book 4 stars. I wanted it to be 5, but I don't know. I just wanted it to be pushed over that edge just a little bit. But for me, this was a solid 4. I really enjoyed the writing. I really enjoyed the story. I thought that this was going to be a contemporary book. It is not. It is not at all. So that I think was a little slightly jarring for me. Maybe that's why I didn't push it up to that original or that high 5, but I really enjoyed it. I recommended it to one of my friends who does not read romance very much and does not read fantasy, and she loved it. And she actually picked it for a book club that she was in. I really thought it was super, super cute. And there's at least 2 more slotted on Goodreads that I don't know if she's already written, but they're going to come out next year and the year after. I am looking forward to reading the rest of the series because it is not a standalone. It is an actual fantasy romance series, but it's quirky and fun. Spice rating for this book is a 0. It's a 0. I was surprised. Honestly, I was surprised. It made sense with the book. Okay. It is a slow burn romance. Slow burn. There's some kissing in the book, but there's nothing explicit as of book 1. I don't know what it holds for the rest of the series, but right now this spice rating is a 0. It's a little steamy, but not spicy. Not sure if that's going to change. This is Hannah's first book that she's published, so I don't know if she's going to write spicy content in the future, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so I know I kind of raved about the book a little bit already, and so this is, my review is kind of already half done, but I did really enjoy the book. Like I said, the fantasyness kind of threw me off guard. I was not expecting it to have the fantasy aspect based on her skits that I've seen. Being a fantasy reader, I liked it. It's not a super heavy world building fantasy. So it's very light, very easy to read. There's not really like magic systems and things that you have to really gather or remember. That made it a really fast read. Like there's a frog. Where is he? That holds up signs to speak. Like, like he communicates with them by holding up signs. It's just quirky and fun. And I really thought it was enjoyable. I loved that I got to see a lot of herself and her skits in the book, but I also really loved the characters. Like I loved the villain. Even though he's the villain, you just love him. You just kind of felt that bubbliness and all the, situations with the grumpy sunshine where they just get thrown together and you're like, oh, like that angst feeling that was all throughout this book. And I thought it was so cute. So cute. It was just done really well. And I didn't know going into it that it was going to be a series. So I'm really looking forward to more happening. Like there is a plot going on in the whole story with like the people trying to kill the villain and her having to thwart it and who can they trust. And it just made it enjoyable. It made it fun. And I really want to see the villain not be grumpy. But this is spoiler free because it's kind of like a short romance book. So I'm not going to spoil things. I really hope you read and enjoy Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Maehrer. I will put a link down in the description below if you want to buy your own physical copy. Mine has the sprayed edges that were the first release pages. I'm not sure if all of them are going to have that or if it's just like the first edition ones. I'm not sure, but it's really cool. It's really cool. You don't see that on paperback books very often. Go ahead and check out the book. I'll put a link in the description and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and I'll see you guys next time.